Well, hey everybody. So today we're going to be getting some slope-intercept form from graphs, and we'll be getting assignment 10 started off with problems 1, 2, and 3. Shouldn't be the longest video ever, so I'm going to start up my timer and go get a drink, and we'll get started with some practice problems here in a few minutes. There, now I'm unmuted. Okay. And that is time. All right, so what are we talking about today? This shouldn't be the longest video ever. We're going to go back to practicing getting our slope-intercepts from a graph. And so this one doesn't require much scrap work, but I really need everyone to attach whatever scrap work they've got this week to make sure you did your work. Last week there was a little bit of a I'm going to copy your work, you're going to copy my work sort of problem. Okay, so what are we doing? So we'll do a few practice problems here, and then I'll put up questions 1, 2, and 3 for assignment 10. The answer document just went up on Classroom a little while ago. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm just going to make sure that anyone tuning in just a second or watching the replay and clip forward to this point knows that these are practice problems. And not the actual assignment yet. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, these take up quite a bit of screen, so let me get my screenshot. Bring it over. Okay, so what are we doing? Our goal is to figure out what this line is in y equals mx plus b format. And just as a refresher, let's go ahead and talk about how the m is the slope and b is our y-intercept. That's why they call it slope-intercept form. And that value basically is when x is equal to 0, what is y equal to? Okay, so looking over here, I'm going to go ahead and put some dots here on this. On this line that make it easier to see, easier for those of you at home to see. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting dots on the graph where this blue line is going straight through coordinates. Yep, I'm noticing a pattern. Okay. So what I notice immediately is right here. I noticed that the y-intercept is at 4. All you have to do is see where does the line connect to the y-axis. So that means that b is equal to 4. Now the next part we have to do a little bit of calculation. So if you look, you can pick any of these green dots. It does not matter. So like if I'm going from this, like look at this very bottom one down here. I'll draw a line. That's actually not what I meant to do. 1 second. If I draw a straight line up from this very low, the lowest dot, if I go up and over, and then I decide to count units, that's 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units. That's bad. 1 unit, 2 units, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this goes up 6 and then it goes over 1, 2, 3, and then it goes over 3. So my slope is 6 over 3 because I went up 6 and right 3. So the slope would be 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now, if you're wondering, well, did you have to use those locations? No. Just as an example, just a math practice standard number, whatever, where I'm making an argument and proving myself. Let's say that I did not choose those 2 dots. What if I decided to go from, I don't know, this dot all the way up to this dot? Would it matter? And it shouldn't. 1 unit, 2 units, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units. Goes up 10 over 1, over 2, over 3, over 4, over 5. Yeah, you'll notice when I get the same thing. So I did it again, and I went up 10 and over 5, which is also 2. So what I'm proving there is it does not matter which 2 dots, as long as they are on actual coordinates, everything's going to work out fine. So what's the answer? Well, if m is equal to 2, so that'd be y equals 2x, and then my b was 4 plus 4. So that would be my equation. So let's check out another one. If you're watching at home, what you should do, when I land this next one on the screen, is try it on your own, see what answer you get, and then hit play and see if we come up with the same thing. So there it is. Now I will make some little dots here for you guys, just in case it's hard to see it on the screen. Okay, so this is the moment you want to pause. Make it a drink. Okay, well, the first thing I notice is y-intercept. I look at the y-axis. I notice it connects right there at -3. That means that b is equal to -3. All right, I'm halfway done, basically. So now I just need to count. Now I can do the smallest up and over ever, and see this goes up 1 and over 2. Slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x, and apparently this one goes up 1 and over 2 for a slope of 1/2. And if I wanted to double check that with a different section of the graph, like if I wanted to go from here to here, and count it again just to prove that this works. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. So yeah, that'd be 4 over 8, which is also equal to 1/2. Okay, so if my y-intercept is -3 and my slope is 1/2, okay, so I would assume on your answer document, this is what I would expect you to type out. And we do need to talk about this because some of you are still having struggles typing fractions. So for this one, you could say y equals 1/2. You could say parentheses 1/2 and parentheses x plus a -3, but that's kind of awkward. So the easier way to write that would be y equals 1/2 in parentheses x. Just say -3. Those would both be correct. But that's how I want you to type the fraction, is with a front slash, not a comma, not anything else. And the reason we're putting it in parentheses, I guess I would also accept this. Y goes 1x over 2 minus 3, or even y equals x over 2 minus 3. I mean, technically, all of those are good for this problem. But we're really talking about math semantics. Like, they're all correct, but the best way, most accepted way to write it, I would probably say, if I were in your shoes doing this assignment, the way I would type it out would be this one. That's just the way I would do it. But those all would have been fine. Okay. So, it's all me and my lonesome here. So I guess I feel like I've done enough practice problems, and I'm gonna go ahead and put your questions for the day, make it short and sweet. So here we go. I'm gonna clear off the screen a little bit, make sure everyone is absolutely sure what is going down. So what we're doing, this is other 1 and 10. I'm gonna have to do one at a time on screen. So please do me a favor and make sure that your answer is in y equals mx plus b format. And before I give you a second to look at this, I'm going to go ahead and put some dots on the screen to make sure that like you didn't get it wrong because you couldn't see where they connect. So there's one there. Okay. So I'll give you a second to look at that before I clip it over to the next problem. Okay. We're going to get on to question 2 now. All right, so here's question 2. I'm going to go ahead and put some dots on the screen so it's a little bit easier to see. And I'll leave this on screen for a second or two so you can pause it and work on your answers. It made no sense. I'm going to leave it on screen so you can pause it. Anyway, it'll be on screen for a second. Okay. And now we are going to see question 3. Like I did before, I'll put some dots on the screen to make sure no one's missing out just because they couldn't squint and see it. Okay, please make sure you show me some sort of scrapwork, be it on your Google Doc or be it an attached piece of paper. I know these didn't require a whole lot of scrapwork, but 4, 5, and 6 probably will. So take care of yourselves, take care of your families, make your beds, and check your emails for announcements about the food delivery system. If you haven't seen that, you really need to go check out the sign up process. You should have gotten an email with some documents, and you should be checking Miss Elliott's classroom for big important announcements. So go check that out. Basically, the school isn't going to be allowing pickup of food forever. And when that stops, if you signed up for this program, they'll be sending food to your homes. So check your emails, check Miss Elliott's classroom. Let me know if you have any questions via email. I miss you guys terribly. I hope you're doing all right. I'll see you next time.